What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eclectic Beard. So this go around, got Jinja Pisces live at Whack and Open Air 2019. Um, this is a band that I know of them, and of course they're recommended through my reaction to Nightwish. So here we are. I've never actually listened to their music. I know who they are. I mean, look, as a reactor, I'll say this: if you start reacting and you take and go the music route, a lot of times people pick certain genres, and if they don't take and go like full on spectrum, which means they take and cover just about every kind of music that you can imagine. So I didn't take and go. I didn't go like the country route, even though I'm a country boy, because well, a lot of what I consume on the radio is country. I didn't take and go like rap because a lot of the mainstream rap, I listen to mainstream music. So there's a lot of it I'd wind up hearing anyways. Even if I just take and hear it here and there on the radio station, I would at least have heard the song, so I can't give a genuine reaction. Rock, punk, metal, like I listen to like a lot of the bands that are first time reaction. I'm sorry, some of those are bullshit. They're not first time reactions. They're just not. Granted, there's a lot of folks that do have, they say first time reaction, and they're being honest and genuine, and it's first time honestly hearing this stuff, which is cool. But the major bands that you take and see these people take and reacting to, I've already heard the songs that are being requested. So people are like, Rush or Zeppelin or Floyd, and I'm like, I grew up listening to that shit. Like, I love that type of music. I can't exactly react to it. Even like, there's some smaller bands that people take and react to that, you know, I've done reviews of like Linkin Park. Linkin Park is my favorite band of all time. I've done a review of My Chemical Romance. Again, one of my favorite bands of all time. So a lot of this stuff that's popular in the metal scene, even if you take and go to punk and post-hardcore and screamo and stuff, I've heard it. My 20s and 30s, early 30s, that's what I listened to. That was my jam. So, sorry. Couldn't do that neither. That's the reason why I went with the UK grime, because my wife suggested SPM. Off of that, somebody requested Immortal Technique, and then off Immortal Technique, I got Low Key and Akala. So, I'd never heard that music before. That's the reason why I'd run with it, because I was like, I love the social consciousness about this music. So I could have went, you know, I could have went metal. I could have listened to like Reactive Nightwish or Ginger and others way earlier in my reacting process. But there's so many, I felt like maybe it's a little bit saturated. Maybe I was wrong on that at some point in time with that mindset, because I don't think it really matters. As a very rabid fan base, very rabid fan bases. So, which plays well, you know, as a content creator that reacts to music. Rabid fan bases is how you take and grow, and at this point is more just for my own amusement, because I like good music, and well, I need to take and expand again. So, here we go, Jinja Pisces. It's a nice sized crowd. Hold on. Does this need to have... Okay, no subtitles on that side. I'll say this, I like the way that it come in, but just the guitar solo instrumentation before you had the drums come in. And now her singing takes and makes the whole thing sonically. It reminds me of It reminds me of something you'd have heard on the radio in the early 2000s. I can't put my finger on what, but I'm getting distinctive, and for whatever reason, it's the tip of my tongue. But there's a band that I'm hearing a correlation to, but I really want to see where this goes. Just watching this band looks like they put on an awesome concert. There's so much movement between not only just the singer taking a walking around on stage, and she's got that gold suit on right there, and it's very very reminds me of some pop singers from the 80s, um, but her singing and just walking on stage, just walking around on the stage, and you got the bassist he's not just standing still. He's got movement. It gives the song and the performance as a whole a nice feeling and flow. Crowd engagement. Wow, she really gets to those lower registers, doesn't she, while she's screaming? That is a hell of a change. She gonna take and do that, and then she gonna skip back there towards the drummer like she didn't just sound like a fucking demon on acid. What the fuck? See, that beautiful voice just kind of pulls you in. Soft, understated. You got to kind of make sure you're listening to take and hear what's being said. And then it comes up for the chorus, and fucking a demon with a bad allergy comes out. Bro, she has got a, like, I've been mentioning stage presence a lot. That's something that, for me, I think whenever you're taking and watching somebody, and I think the correlation of, like, it's one thing to take and see a music video and be like, oh, they've got some spark or they got pizzazz. But a lot of times that doesn't translate over for, like, stage presence. And I think really for any kind of, like, rock or metal band to take and to have any kind of success, they've got to have, on stage, live, there's got to be a presence to them. They've got to know how to take and, if they're standing still, if they're more stationary as as a singer, they've got to take and have such a commanding presence, whether it's within the way they hold themselves and deliver the song, and see the crowd that takes and just commands you to take and pay attention to them while they're singing, irrespective of everybody else that's on stage with them. Or they've got to take and have, you've either got to have that, or you've got those people, you've got those singers that they know how to take and work the crowd, which takes and works towards them being more magnetic. And a lot of that you see in between sets, which takes and helps lends to their on-stage presence while they're singing. You got somebody like her, just from one song, her movements on the stage, the way she takes and as she's singing, the way she uses her body as an instrument to take and go along and back up her voice. And this is before you get to the growls. It's before you even take and get to that. And that right there, just her taking and it's a sense of swag and I don't know, superior confidence that just supersedes everything while she's moving and just you want, it's very hypnotic the way she takes and conducts herself on stage. So that kind of state, that's one of the reasons why I keep saying stage presence. I've seen, I don't know how many bands, you listen to their music, you're like, oh man, this is awesome. And you see them live on concert and you're like, dude, that's a fucking letdown. It's cool to take and see, hear somebody that you, watching them live, they're going to take and sound good in the studio, but you understand the reason why after watching for a minute or two or almost 3 minutes in at this point, why they've got the following they've got. So I love that mosh pit. Everybody in the mosh pit. When I was younger, dude, I went to concerts. I've seen Seven Dust. I've seen after they were starting to blow up. I've seen Puddle of Mud. I've seen Yellow Card, which they're. And a couple other punk bands with them before them, which Yellow Card put on a hell of a show when they were young. But I've seen them, Three Doors Down, and there's quite a few others I've seen at like festivals and stuff like that. My favorite thing at 20 years old was hopping into the fucking mosh pit. That or taking a crowd surfing. Seen Puddle of Mud in a club. 2 layers, so you got the bottom part where people were in, like kind of like the dance floor part, and you got 2 raised sections above that where people were just kind of standing and watching and kind of singing along. I took and jumped off of that railing into the crowd a few times. Got thrown out, had to sneak my way back in, but I love seeing stuff like that at rock concerts. A lot of times, like a lot of new rock stuff that I've seen, I don't see so much mosh pitting. Like, I'm like, where's the fucking crowd surfing? Where's the mosh pit? Like, for me, that's a sign of a healthy crowd. It means the band is doing their job. If they don't whip you up to where you want to take and just push the person in front of you to take and get them to push back and he knows what the fuck is what, is it really a concert? I mean, come on now. And her movements while from the verses to the chorus are completely different, because during the verses it's just this sultry movement that she does on stage. When she starts to scream, it's completely different. And she stops and she commands you to take a look, just in her fucking, the way she sets herself and she does her, that right there, for me, that's, regardless of anything, even if I was to go into this and hear this and be like, oh, this ain't for me, you'd have to respect the stage presence, not only of her, but the band as a whole, but her especially. And I'm going to tell you right now, I like this. Why did it take so long for me to listen to some of this stuff? Oh, wait, I answered that at the beginning. That's right.
Alright, Megan, if you know this song, I This part is not so difficult. Cherished his life to the underworld.
I wonder how far back you started.
Meet me flashing when the winter arrives. Show us what you're gonna get.
That was kick-ass. That was fucking killer. Like, oh my god. Nice. The verses, singing the verse part of the song, so nice and melodic. And then that heavy fucking, like I said, Demonwood sinus problem. Like, growlish fucking screaming that she did. Like, oh my god. Dude. Sometimes you make decisions in life, and I do not regret waiting this long to actually be like, all right, so let me actually listen to these cats. Because, look, especially as a reactor, like if you listen to rock and stuff like that, you listen to mainstream stuff, there's a good chance you're not going to take and come across them anyways. You're going to have a friend recommend them and stuff. Or you're just going to take and for whatever reason, you're not going to run across them. Like, I knew of them. Like, there's bands you know of as somebody that listens to rock or heavy metal or anything like that. There's bands you might not actually hear or you might not listen to, but you know of. Be like, I like what I like, so I'm going to stick with what I like. That's the kind of person I am a lot of times with a lot of my music. Now, I do try to take and find new stuff, but for the most part, like, all my playlists are stuff I've listened to since I was like 14. So, there's stuff I've added throughout the years, so I say 14. A lot more of it since I was about 18 years old, and it's Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance, bands like that, like just what you'd hear in a regular rock rotation as far as, how do I put this? You like what you like. There we go. I'll just simplify it. You like what you like, and you listen to what you listen to. And like I said, I've heard of them. I've heard of Nightwish. It's not like I didn't know who they were. But as far as like actually sitting down listening to music or anything like that, and as a reaction channel, like I said, you take and come in and like if you go the metal route, like one of the quickest ways to grow. I mean, to be honest with you, you could have 0 subscribers. If you're gonna be a reaction channel, here's pro tip. If you're gonna be a reaction channel and you're gonna react to music, if you decide to take and listen to metal, especially if you're not natively a metal fan, one of the bands you start with is Jinja. One of the bands you start with is Nightwish. Why? They grow your community quick. Rabid fans. Like, as a reactor, I've looked and seen what some of these other channels react to. Like, if you take and decide to go into a different a niche, right? You kind of pay attention to what people are doing. So you might take and be into music, you might react to music and stuff like that. If you take and go, let's say you take and react to rock or whatever, but you don't listen to this kind, you don't react to this kind of rock. You take and start off with classic rock and make your way through the ethos of rock and roll, right? you take a look at what other channels are listening to and what they're reacting to. It's easy to find other channels that take and react to rock. This is going to be one of those bands that you see heavy. Same with Nightwish. And there's a few others out there that I'll wind up getting to that really, they've got hardcore fan bases, and those hardcore fan bases, especially when somebody genuinely enjoys the music that they hear, are going to take and gravitate towards us for reactions and stuff like that. Her on-screen fucking, or not on-screen, but on-stage presence is fucking just, dude, she might be the total package, for real. Because when she's on stage, she's got two different modes, and it's not something you normally see, even with people that take and do like melodic singing and then go to the fucking screams. You don't see somebody, a lot of times, their stage presence throughout is the same. They've got the same layer, and hey, more power to them. Her, whenever she's doing the verses, or she's doing the melodic portion of the song throughout the verse, her movements, the way she takes and just, the song just kind of flows out of her. And a lot of the play that she does as far as some of the sultry movements, some of the just being in constant motion and just making you want to take and follow her with your eyes on stage. And then she goes from that, and she starts that, and it's a more rooted in place. You're damn sure, if not for the sound, just that planting the feet in basically and getting it all out, you're going to take in, there's two different levels to her stuff. And it's, like I said, you don't see a lot of singers have different levels of that stage presence to where it goes from like, oh man, she's killing it up there, to holy shit, she's melting my face. Like, you don't see those two different levels as seamlessly. A lot of times it's, dude, this motherfucker rocks. And it's while they're taking and singing a verse or a melodic part, and even it's the same. You feel, oh, dude, they're killing it. Listen to that fucking scream. There's not normally two different levels of that. She's got two different levels to that stage presence. So you add in the band itself, the guitarist, and he's not even taking and doing a whole lot of movement, at least not in this. He's not doing a whole lot of movement, but with his playing and just that intensity that he's got on the guitar. And then you got the bass player who's taking and rhythmically going along with the song and taking and playing. There's enough flow of energy throughout on that stage that I imagine they get pretty big fucking mosh pits, because that's a lot of times the energy of the band feeds the energy that goes into the crowd, and the crowd feeds. I'm sure they put on killer fucking shows because they just exude energy as a whole. And she's the core of it. So, really good. I'm glad y'all took and actually recommended this. I'm glad I finally took a look at them. Like I said, you take and do reactions, or you listen to metal, even if you don't take and listen to them, you know of them, you know they're around. So, I think for a lot of folks, it's just a matter of taking a finally, all right, fuck it, I'll take and listen to this or whatever. Whereas for me as a reactor, all right, fuck it, I'm going to take and react to this, because I finally hit that point to where I'm branching out the way I really wanted to since the beginning. Y'all be good to each other. Love yourselves. Peace.